Hello all loonies and normals, my name is Joe Silver, welcome to my channel. Today what we're going to be talking about is, are the old games still the best, or can the game devs produce something new that is better? So see, let me say why I'm saying this, because have you noticed lately that they're bringing back a lot of the old games? Tetris, Sonic, right? Even Stranger's Wrath, they're bringing that back on the Switch, or they already have. I don't know what the release date was on it, but apparently they're bringing that out on the Switch. And they're bringing back all these old games that we used to play ages ago and marketing them as new because they're just putting a new spin on them or something. In the case of Tetris, it's Tetris 99. So now instead of playing on your own on a Game Boy, you're playing on the internet against hundreds of people. Well, literally 99 people are playing together, right? Now, that's just one thing. And they're bringing back Stranger's Wrath, and they brought back Sonic as Sonic Mania, and they brought back Sonic Forces, and they're bringing back all these old games that we used to play ages ago. And you have to ask, is it because that the games they've got these days are rubbish and actually they can't make anything better than the originals? Is that why they're bringing them back, or is it just that they've run out of ideas? So let's go to our old treasure trove, treasure trove. Sorry, is that the reason? Well, my opinion is I don't know. I honestly don't. But my opinion is I think so. Because, and I know that this is just my opinion, and again, that's all my vlogs ever are and were, but I think the old games were better. No, the graphics didn't look as good. No, they didn't thrill me the way some of the graphics do these days, because you could tell they were computer graphics, and the arms looked square or triangular, or or whatever, and they looked like what they were. Yeah, we've all seen the square arms or the triangle arms and the square legs and so on, and you could see where the joins were, and it looked absolutely awful. We've seen it and we know it, but but we played those games, and at the time we were like, this is brilliant. And when you look back at the graphics now, they were awful. But we played them and we didn't care. I mean, I don't think back then we looked and went, these graphics are absolutely awful. They were probably the best graphics they could do at the time. They definitely didn't, when you look back on them now, they definitely didn't age well. But they were probably the best graphics they could do at the time. And like Sonic and Mario, because I mean, they're bringing back Mario games with Super Mario Maker, and now they're going to bring out a Super Mario Maker 2, which in my opinion is just going to be Super Troll Maker 2, because the first one was that full of flipping troll levels and Kaizo levels and everything. I mean, I'm sure people did make decent normal levels, but not many, as far as I'm aware. But anyway, that's beside the point. That's a vlog for another day. My point is that they are going back to the old games because they, as far as I'm concerned, they were better. I mean, look at the games you've got today. Fortnite, Overwatch, PUBG. Now, they're bringing out versions of those. Apex. Apex, as far as I'm concerned, is PUBG set in the future with slightly different weaponry. Right? That's as far as I'm concerned. They're bringing out a new version of Factorio. Now, I never played the original Factorio, but people must have really liked it, because they're bringing out a new one of that as well, called Satisfactory, right? And it's basically Factorio, but in 3D. That's all it is, as far as I can see. So they're bringing out another one of that. This is what I'm saying. They are going back to the old games, because the old games were actually better, in my opinion. Because the modern games, I'm afraid, have descended into apart from exceptions, which I'm sure you'll be more than happy to flood my comment section with, you know, now and then. But basically, your modern game has descended into, you have to be online, and you have to be against about 50 million other people, kicking their brains in, or shooting them, or doing something to them rather nasty. That is how your modern game has descended, I'm afraid. And it's rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish. They haven't got any new ideas, so they're going back to the old ones. And quite frankly, the old ones were better. That's my opinion. Now, like I said, I'm sure there are many of you who are going to tell me, Joe, you're talking out your backside. You're talking absolute rubbish. No, they're not. The old games are nowhere near better. The graphics were rubbish. There was this wrong with them, that wrong, rah, rah. And you might be right, or you might be wrong. But my opinion, and that's all it is that some of those old games were better. I have played Stranger's Wrath so often that I know the story forward, backward, right? And I literally, whenever I could play it and know exactly what's going to happen, and know what I need to do here, there, everywhere, right? Now, I'm not saying I'm a professional speedrunner of Stranger's Wrath. I'm not a speedrunner. I don't run it. But I've played it hundreds of times. How often have I played PUBG? Not even once. 0. How often have I played Fortnite? 0. How often have I played Overwatch? 0. Do you know why? Because those games hold absolutely nothing that interests me. Now, if you like those games, that's up to you. But personally, I could not play those games. They hold absolutely no fascination for me. The old games are just better. For a start off, the old games, you went to a store and you got them. You didn't download them off the internet. And when you got them, you didn't need the internet to play them. If you had the internet, that was great, and you could play your mates online if you wanted to, but you didn't need to. You didn't need to. There was no requirement, because that's the other thing with modern games. It's this belief that if you don't have the internet, you can't play our game. Why? Why? I know about 80% of the world has the internet, but the other 20% that doesn't can't play your games. It's probably less than that, don't quote me on those stats, but my point is that, yeah, some of the world has the internet, but the part that doesn't can't touch such games because they are so internet heavy. What the heck? The old games were better. Now, and I've said this again and again and again through this vlog, and you're probably thinking, well, I can switch off it. I can switch off. All he's doing is repeating his opinion that the old games are better. But my point is, I'm telling you why I think they're better. Why? And the reason is because they didn't conform to some of the behaviour and ideas that they seem to have these days. These days, if a game doesn't involve a gun, a knife, or some other form of violence, it's rubbish. If it doesn't, if you don't have to, you know, if you don't have to kick about 50 people's brains in to win, it's rubbish. A lot of games that are coming out. I mean, not every game, okay? I'm sure there are single player games that are, you know, and don't involve these things. But like I said, you look at some of the games that they are floating around today, and I'm going to be quite frank with you here, the old games didn't involve subjects that were so terrible that they actually got banned. I mean, there probably were one or two that got banned from the old time, but not generally speaking. Do you know, there was actually a game came out called Rape Day, and I haven't seen anything on the game because it got banned from Steam, apparently. But from what I hear, I believe you are a zombie or some other kind of monster and you have to rape women. Now come on devs, what are you thinking? Are you insane? That is not funny, that is not entertainment, that concept is not good in any way, shape or form. Have you had your brains removed? Do you really think they would let that pass? Did you? What the heck? So yeah, that got banned on Steam, and quite rightly so. You know, people these days just don't get it. They don't seem to understand civilized behaviour. I mean, Rockstar haven't for a long while now. Every one of their games seem to go out of the way to include subjects that most other game devs would look at and go, actually that's not appropriate lads, we won't include that. Rockstar say, why not? I'll take it. And they've put it in their games. That's why I've never been one for boycotting. That's why, because even though I've never been one to boycott an entire company just because one of their games doesn't suit. You know, like these people who boycott EA because certain things happen in one game, or because of certain parts of one game, or because of their business practices or whatever. I've never been one like that. If I like an EA game, I will buy it because, as far as I'm concerned, what the company does is their business. I'm buying a game because I like it, not because I support the company's business practices or whatever. But if I ever did boycott a company, it would be Rockstar. And I kind of have in a way, because I've never yet played a Rockstar game, and I probably never will. Because then, look at their history, GTA, or Red Dead Redemption 2. And I don't know if they also made Redemption 1, but I've never played it. Because, you know. But I mean, look at Red Dead Redemption 2. Do you know that there's a hint in there that actually a couple that you meet while you're playing are an incestuous couple? I mean, again, what the heck, Rockstar? So, again, this is my point. People these days just don't know how to make decent video games. They seem to have, somewhere along the lines, games seem to have descended into a nasty, horrible mess that your average human, civilized human, shouldn't even be looking at, never mind playing. That's my opinion. The old games were better because they actually covered subjects that were palatable for human consumption. They actually, you didn't actually need the internet to play them, and when you got them, you weren't saying, well, it's okay, it's only a early access yet, the bugs will be worked out in a later patch. When you got the game, it was a finished game because it had to be, because they couldn't patch it. They literally couldn't. That was it. That was what you got, was the finished version of the game. Now, did old games have glitches? Yes. Speedrunners' careers are made on glitches. Were some of the old games perhaps at times a little unfinished, or a little, you know, like they could have done with a bit more polish? Yes. But they were still better. And we are, you know, I don't know about you, but that's my opinion. And I'm sure that you will have plenty to say in the comment section down below. And if you do, feel free, without swearing of course, to give your comments. Anyway, I have rambled on enough. If you would like what you've seen here, leave me a like, a sub and a comment down below saying so. If you have an idea for what I should talk about next week, again, leave me a comment down below. And if you have an opinion on what I have said here today, if you have a comment to make about which are better, old games or new games, feel free to leave that comment in the comment section below. Again, all I ask, please, is that you don't swear, because any swearing comments will be removed. But beyond that, you're free to go ham. Leave the comments down below. I love to see feedback. Anyway, I have been Joe Silver. This has been a vlog. Thank you very much for watching.